You already know that heartbreak hurts, but here is something most people do not know. When you say rejection feels like a punch to the stomach, your brain is not being poetic, it is being literal. The same neural systems that process physical pain also process emotional pain, and the overlap is so significant that for years, scientists could not distinguish the two on a brain scan. Neuroscientist Naomi Eisenberger at UCLA ran a now famous study using a simple computer game. Participants were told they were playing an online ball tossing game with two other players. Midway through, the other player stopped throwing the ball to them, eventually leaving them out. There were no real stakes, no real relationships, just a computer game with strangers. And yet the brain scan showed activation in the dorsal anterior cingulate cortex and the anterior insula. These are the same regions that activate during physical pain. Being left out of a ball tossing game just for a few minutes with strangers registered as pain in the brain. Eisenberger's conclusion was significant. Social pain and physical pain share a neural alarm system. They evolved together because for most of human history, being excluded from the group was a genuine threat to survival. The brain learned to treat social rejection the same way it treats physical injury, as something requiring immediate attention and a pain signaling strong enough to change behavior. Think about the last time you felt genuinely rejected, not just disappointed, rejected, excluded, dismissed, left behind. There was probably a physical component to it, a tightness in your chest, a heaviness, a feeling in your body that was not just emotional. That was not weakness, that was not you being dramatic. That was your brain's pain system doing its job. The same job it does when you stub your toe or burn your hand, but activated by a social signal instead of a physical one. And this is why emotional pain can feel just as debilitating as physical injury, because to the brain, it essentially is. We live in a culture that takes physical pain seriously and tells people to get over emotional pain. Walk it off, move on, don't let it affect you. But if the neural systems are the same, then dismissing emotional pain is a bit like telling someone with a broken arm to just push through it without any care or recovery. It does not work, and it adds self-criticism on top of an already painful experience, which makes everything harder. Understanding that emotional pain is neurologically real gives you permission to take it seriously, to give it recovery time, to treat it with the same basic respect you would give a physical injury. 3 specific things that come directly from this research. First, stop telling yourself you should not feel this way. The pain signal is neurologically real. It is not weakness. It is neither oversensitivity. Your brain is doing exactly what it evolved to do. Arguing with it does not make it quieter. It just adds shame to the pain. Second, give emotional pain recovery time the same way you would to a physical pain. After a significant rejection, loss, or social wound, your system needs time to regulate. Not weeks of dwelling, but not immediate move-on pressure either. A genuine intentional period of allowing the system to settle. Eisenberger's research also found something practically useful here. That the presence of a trusted person during social pain reduces the pain signal in the brain, in the same way that physical contact reduces physical pain. You do not need them to fix anything. Just being with someone safe without performing or explaining genuinely reduces the neurological load. And when the emotional pain is from rejection or exclusion specifically, resist the urge to replay the moment obsessively. The pain system, once activated, can be kept active by rumination the same way picking at a physical wound keeps it open. Noticing when you are replaying and gently redirecting your attention. You should not suppress the feeling, but not feed the loop either. It is one of the most important and effective things you can do. When you stop treating emotional pain as something to overcome through willpower, and start treating it as something to recover from with care, your resilience actually grows. Not because you become tougher, but because you stop adding the weight of self judgment to pain that is already heavy enough. You let it move through more cleanly, you recover more fully, and you come out the other side more intact than you would have if you had tried to push straight through it. Your emotional pain is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign that you are human enough to have things that matter to you, and that is never something to be ashamed of.